When I say that Real Madrid are going through an injury crisis, I think a lot of people that are not fans of the club think that Madrid fans are trying to run a sympathy gimmick, and nobody seems to give us the benefit of the doubt. But today, I woke up to my worst nightmare coming true. Vinicius is injured, and he won't be available for the Liverpool game. What is going on at this club? I'm tired of seeing an injury every other day. Come on. This is literally the worst news that we could have received before this Liverpool game. Our best player out, injured. And I was actually feeling confident heading into this matchup against Liverpool. I was prepared to do this match preview and talk with some chest based off of our recent games. But I mean, enough is enough. It's bad enough that we don't even have a defense. Now you're telling me that I got to go play Liverpool, who are arguably the best team in Europe on form, who have the best defense in Europe, and I'm not going to have Vinicius? It's actually ridiculous. This is my worst nightmare. When I did the watch-along, when we did our match against Leganes, I was praying that nobody got injured. Because I know how big this game at Anfield is. And the one player that you never want to see injured is now going to be missing this game. Vinicius is out for 3 weeks. Oh my God, he has a muscle injury. How many muscle injuries are we going to get? Chat, this is a huge blow for us. This is almost a bigger blow than all the defensive injuries that we have combined. Vinicius is our best player. And now he's not going to be here for arguably our hardest game of the season. Fabrizio put out the news, right? Vinicius will be out for around 3 weeks with the muscle injury. He will miss the game against Liverpool. Real Madrid staff will try to have Vinny back in for the Intercontinental Cup on December 18th in Doha, but could also be earlier based on recovery. Fucking hell, man. I'm really pissed off. I'm very pissed off. And I want to give Carlo some smoke right now. We played Leganes. Why is Vinicius playing 90 minutes? He played 90 minutes in both of Brazil's games over the international break. But you took off Mbappe. Mbappe got a little rest, but not Vinicius. Mbappe didn't go on national team duty. Like, this is the problem that we have with our substitutions. There's a report, and it's factual. You guys can look this up. In La Liga, Real Madrid are the team that use their subs the least. And this is why, when we get all these injuries, and people want to give Carlo some blame, it makes sense. Why the hell is Vinicius playing 90 minutes against Leganes, especially when we were controlling that game? It's not like we were in a dogfight. It's not like we were losing and we were in control. But no, you want to wait until like the 70th minute to start making changes. Vinicius should have been taken off. He should have been given a little rest. Give Endrick more minutes. Bring on Brahim earlier. It's not hard. And now we got to go to Anfield and play Liverpool without Vinicius. I couldn't believe my eyes when I woke up and saw this news. I couldn't believe it. I said, nah, this got to be a joke. But no, it's true. We won't be seeing Vinicius for 3 to 4 weeks. Hopefully his recovery goes well. But we are literally Injury FC, Medical Room FC. It's an actual joke. I want the fitness coach sacked. Pintus, I want him sacked. I want the medical staff sacked. It's not a coincidence that we're getting all these injuries. Something is going very wrong at this club. in training, in the recovery process. And the only thing that I could pinpoint is the medical staff. Get rid of all of them. Bring in somebody new. Because the injury crisis cannot get much worse than this. I am fuming. I was so hyped to make this match preview. And now this injury has just dampened my mood. Like, what the fuck? Getting injured against Leganés, an irrelevant team in La Liga. And now we're going to be missing him against Liverpool. Man, whatever, bro. Let's get into it. Let's just get into it, man. Let's talk about this game. The Champions League is back. Huge matchup on Wednesday at Anfield, where Real Madrid will be taking on Liverpool. And I don't know about you guys, but I was excited for this match. Now with the Vinicius news, I'm not as excited. But I still am looking forward to it because this is by far the biggest game of the week. And with the form that both of us are coming into this game on, Liverpool are clearly the favorites, right? Liverpool are the best team in Europe right now based off how they've been playing. Their form has been amazing. Defensively, they've been amazing. Real Madrid, on the other hand, our last two games, we've been cooking. But just overall this season, we've not been that good. So if you're a neutral, obviously you'd be leaning to Liverpool absolutely dominating Real Madrid. And even with all the injuries that we have, I just want to say, do not write us off. Do not just automatically think that Liverpool are going to slap up Real Madrid, okay? The only thing that's giving me hope right now is that we have a good history when it comes to playing Liverpool in this competition, right? Let's not forget the last time we came to Anfield. Don't let that 5-2 go over your head. What about in the Champions League final in the 21-22 season? 1-0. What about in the 17-18 Champions League final? 3-1. We usually have a lot of success playing Liverpool. And I know that they're the favorites, right? I know that we got all these injuries. But all that I'm saying is when that Champions League music hits, you can never write us off. So don't make that mistake. Because I still do think we can go there and get something, even with all the injuries that we have. I think the boys could surprise a lot of people. I'm always going to back my squad, regardless of what's going on. But yeah, I'm just not as confident as I would have been if Vinicius was there. And I think that's reasonable. Because if anybody's missing their best player, right, you would be a little hesitant. But I'm still going to back my boys. Now, I do just want to show you guys the Champions League table before I get into talking about the form that Real Madrid are on. And Liverpool are top of the UCL. 4 games, 4 wins. They've been on smoke. Last time we saw them play in the Champions League, they beat Bayer Leverkusen 4-0. Real Madrid have been shocking. We have been shit in the Champions League. 4 games, 2 losses. An embarrassing L to Lille. And then we got slapped up by AC Milan. We'll talk about it. But, yeah, we need to win this game. We must. Because I actually do like the new Champions League format, right? I like how it's one big league table. It makes it interesting, right? It's something different. And we all know that the first 8 teams automatically qualify for the next round of the UCL. If you finish between 9th and what is that? 24th, then you have to play in a playoff game to make the next round. And if we don't win this game, right, there's a possibility that we might not even qualify for the next round because now we're going to have to probably play a playoff match. And I don't want to play more games, right? We need to win this game so that we can jump somewhere near that top 8 so that we can possibly finish in there so that we don't have to play an extra game when the group stage is over in the UCL. But the new Champions League format, it is pretty cool, right? But I did just want to show that because this is the competition that we are going to be facing Liverpool in, obviously. And I just had to show the disparity between both teams. So it's like I said, Liverpool are the clear favorites in this game, but do not write us off. Now, we got a lot of stuff to get into. We're going to talk about more injury news, right, concerning Real Madrid, because there's other players aside from Vinicius that are very important that's not going to be there. We're going to talk about Liverpool's injury news because they have a few big players that might not make this game. We'll also talk about the form that both clubs are on. And then I'll be going through my predicted Liverpool starting 11. I'll also be building Real Madrid's predicted starting 11. Like, what do I think Carlo Ancelotti will do? And then at the end, we'll do a combined 11 between both teams, right? So I need you guys to smash that like button, get in the comment section, and let me know any thoughts and opinions that you have, whether you're a Real Madrid fan, a Liverpool fan, or a neutral. But let's get into it, man. Let's talk about Real Madrid. So here's the squad list for this game. So the goalkeepers, right? These are the players that are going to be traveling to England to face Liverpool. So Courtois, Lunin, Fran Gonzalez. The defenders, Lucas Vazquez. It looks like he has returned from injury. So I guess that's a significant boost to the squad, even though I don't really rate Vazquez, and I don't think he should be starting this game regardless. But Vazquez is back from injury. Jesus Vallejo, Fran Garcia, Rudiger, Mendy, and Raul Asensio. That's the defense. Midfield, Jude, Camavinga, Valverde, Modric, Arda Güler, Dani Ceballos. And look at our attack. Oh my gosh. Just depleted. Our back line and our attack is just cooked. Like, look at this. Mbappe, Endrick, Brahim, Gonzalo. Oh my gosh, bro. And we got to go with this attack to play against arguably the best defense in Europe. Okay. Now, we talked about Vinicius earlier, right? But let's get into some of the other players who are going to be out for this game because it's a few big names, right? So, obviously, no Vinny. Jacobo Ramen, he's out injured, but he doesn't really matter because he was never going to play significant minutes against Liverpool. He wasn't going to play any minutes, actually, in this game. So, I don't even know why they have him here as a first-team member. But no Rodrigo. He's out, right? Has returned to training, but he's not going to be fit for this game. No Eder Militao, right? He got that injury against Osasuna towards ACL, second ACL in back-to-back seasons. Militao might not even be the same player when he comes back next season. But that's a big miss in the defense. Man like Tchouaméni, Hawk Chua, right? I didn't forget about that disaster class that he had against AC Milan where he got injured, right? He hasn't been available since that game. He's still out injured. But, you know, we got Camavinga there. So I'm not necessarily too worried about that. Dani Carvajal. Oh, man. Dani Carvajal, bro. Big injury he suffered against Villarreal. He's not going to be available for this match. And that does suck. Does suck because Dani Carvajal is an absolute legend. But I think his days of being Real Madrid's undisputed right back, they're over. They're over. Like, with his age and with that kind of injury, who knows how long it'll take for him to come back. And by the time he does come back, we better have bought a right back in the January window or the summer window. That's all that I'm saying. Before next season, we need to have signed a right back. And then David Alaba, still injured. I have no idea when this guy is coming back. They say early January, and I can see it happening, right? He still hasn't returned to training yet. And he's dealing with the major injury that he suffered from last season. But, yeah, here are all the players that we have out. This shit absolutely sucks. Because if you look at players who start for us, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Eder Militao, Tchouaméni, Dani Carvajal. That's 5 players that are starting for us more than likely if they're fit against Liverpool. I don't know what's going on at this club, but they got to figure it out because I don't see how we're going to survive with all the injuries that we've had so far. And we're still early in the season. More injuries will come. That's just what happens in football. So the board must go out there and spend money in January so that we can be competitive in the second half of the season. Because if they don't open up their wallet in January, then you could forget the Champions League. You could forget competing for La Liga. You could probably forget about the Copa del Rey as well. Because we need reinforcements. And we didn't do what was required last summer. We only signed Mbappe on a free. We didn't spend any money last summer. The club announced that we made $1 billion. The first team to ever make $1 billion in a season. Where's all that money? Because you're not spending it. So, yeah, injury FC, man. Fucking ridiculous. I am literally fuming 2 seasons in a row where we're just injured ridden. But let's get into Real Madrid's form. Let's just talk about it. So, you guys see the La Liga table right here. Real Madrid are currently second. And the reason why this matters is because the league is your bread and butter, right? This is where you're going to be playing a majority of your games. And even though this season we've not been that good, we're still in the title race, right? Barcelona are on 34 points. We're on 30. They're 4 points ahead of us, and we have a game in hand because that Valencia game got postponed due to the flooding. So I just wanted to show people that despite our mid-form for a majority of this season, we're still involved, right? A lot of people were just handing the La Liga title to Barcelona in like September because of the great form that they were on. Well, now their form is dropping, and we're managing to pick up 3 points. And our form, our last 2 games, have been really good. So I just want to show you guys this table because for as much as people were sucking off Barcelona, let's be real, we will beat Valencia. So in theory, we're only 1 point behind them. So I just want to point that out because in the league, we are still active. Now, I want to talk about our last few games that we've had, right? And you guys see, we beat Leganés 3-0. Before that, we slapped up Osasuna 4-0. And that Osasuna performance was the best one that we've had all season. I think the game against Leganés was also pretty good, but how we cooked Osasuna for the entirety of 90 minutes was it was so refreshing to see because we were heading into that game on some pretty bad form, right? You guys see the loss to AC Milan. You guys see the absolute ass whipping that Barcelona gave us. And we'll talk about the Milan and Leganés game in a little bit more detail in a few minutes. But I just want to say that the last 2 games that we have played, those are the performances that we needed because I needed our form to be good heading into Anfield because this Liverpool game is not going to be easy. Now, the reason why I talk about Real Madrid's form being shit for a major part of this season is because there's only about 5 games that we've played so far where we've actually looked decent, right? There are a few times that I could say we were lucky. The fact that we've only lost 1 game in the league, we have been very fortunate because there's about 4 games that we could have lost in, right? We should have lost to Las Palmas, Real Sociedad, Villarreal, right? Like they were cooking us. They just couldn't finish their chances. And the problem that we have at Real Madrid is that for a large part of this season, in the first half, we let teams cook us. We're letting teams get all these big chances against us. I have to rely on either Thibaut Courtois or Lunin in the first half to make big save after big save after big save after big save. It's not sustainable how we've been playing. When we had that win versus Dortmund, where we came back after the half being down 2-0 to win 5-2, they were cooking us in that first half. It's not sustainable. And that has been my biggest issue, is that in the first half, we usually struggle. But in the second half, the boys turn up. But by then, it could possibly be too late. As I said, we've been very lucky that teams have been wasteful against us. But playing against Liverpool, if you give Mo Salah those big chances, this man will have a hat trick before the 40th minute. Before halftime, Mo Salah would be on a hat trick if we do not wake up. We need to be on it from the time that whistle is blown. Now, I do want to show you guys the AC Milan game, because this is the last performance that we had in the Champions League. And we got cooked. We got embarrassed. We were so shit that day. We let the Portuguese Marcus Rashford and Rafael Leão cook us. And the thing is, this AC Milan team is dead. This is not the AC Milan of the old days. This AC Milan side is so mid. They're not good. And they were running through us in that Champions League game. The last time we were in the Champions League, that was the worst performance that we had. Our worst two performances that we've had this season have come in the Champions League. That loss to Lille, awful. The loss to AC Milan at the Bernabeu, awful. Like an Alvaro Morata score. Defensively, we were so shit. The midfield was so shit. And we cannot have that kind of performance again. Because if this dead AC Milan team was able to score 3 on us, imagine what an informed Liverpool will do. So I hope that the boys are ready for this game, because they need to give me a good response. I don't care about all the injuries. Figure it out. And I just want to say also, our last game that we've played, right? Leganes 3-0. That was a good performance. I think defensively, we were amazing. Our midfield, especially Camavinga, amazing. Arda Güler, Jude Bellingham, cooked. Vinicius, cooked. Mbappe scored a goal as well. Now, obviously, with the Vinicius news that has broken, yeah, that does ruin the mood. Because not having Vinny there is a huge blow to our attack. But I think if we can play the way that we did defensively, and I know Liverpool are on a whole other level to Leganes, but it's the confidence that a good performance like that brings into the team, right? Raul Asensio, the kid from the academy that has stepped up since Militao got injured, has been very good. Very good. Thibaut Courtois had nothing to do yesterday. This man could have taken a nap. He could have signed some autographs. He could have went sightseeing. He could have went to the bathroom. And I still don't believe that Leganes would have scored. This game could have went on for another 4 hours. And I still think that we would have kept a clean sheet. The only issue that I had with yesterday's performance was that it did seem like in the final third, we were a bit wasteful. And I got to give Leganes a little bit of credit, right? They were playing very well defensively. But with all the possession that we had, and for as much as we were in and around their box, I definitely expected us to look a little bit better in terms of our decision-making in and around their box. But overall, though, that's a very good performance. And we did build on what we saw against Osasuna. It wasn't as good as the Osasuna game, but it was still a very solid. When the whistle was blown, we were on it. So, yeah, man, this is the form that Real Madrid are on. Let me know what you guys think. So, I want to show you guys the UCL table again real quick, just to jog your memory on how good Liverpool have been this season. They are top of the UCL group, right? 4 wins out of 4 games. They are also sitting top of the Premier League, right? And Liverpool, they look like the favorites this season. They look like the team that will dethrone Man City. And I got to give them a lot of credit, especially Arne Slot. His first season at the club, having to take over from Jurgen Klopp, that's a pretty hard job, especially when you consider that Liverpool's board did not back their brand new manager over the summer window. They only gave him Chiesa, but they didn't sign any player that is doing anything for them. One signing they had. And look at how Arne Slot got them boys cooking. And I think, to be fair to them, right, they've been amazing. Like, Arne Slot's in-game management has really blown me away. I always thought Liverpool were going to come top 4 this season. But if you would have told me that they would be playing this well and that they'd be sitting at the top of the table, 8 points clear, I wouldn't have believed you. No, I wouldn't have. I thought Liverpool were going to fall off a bit this season once they didn't sign any players. But when you have world-class players in your squad, such as a Mo Salah, a Van Dijk, a Trent Alexander-Arnold, players who have won Champions Leagues, right? They've won the Prem. They've won Carabao Cup, Club World Cup. I think I massively underrated them. So, again, top of the UCL table and top of the Premier League table, right? Now, whether you think the Premier League is the best in the world, that's up for debate, right? I think the Prem is a farmers league because when one team wins it 4 or 5 years in a row, if that was any other league, people would be calling it a farmers league. But I will give the Premier League credit in saying that it is the most entertaining farmers league in the world. And Liverpool are sitting at the top right now. So looking at their recent run of games, yeah, it's actually crazy. Look at all these W's here. I think they've only lost 1 game this season in all comps. I think that was against, Nottingham Forest. Yeah, aside from the Nottingham Forest L that we're seeing right here, they've either won or have drawn every single game. And this is why I was saying that Liverpool are the best team in Europe based on form. It was between them and Barcelona. But Barcelona have slipped recently, right? And we saw them get a shaky win versus, who was it that they played? Southampton, right? They had to have a come-from-behind victory. And we'll talk about that in a second. But I do want to show you the last game that they had in the UCL, right? So they actually went against Bayer Leverkusen, where they won 4-0. Now, this is important for a few reasons, because we all know that Xabi Alonso manages Bayer Leverkusen, and that's the manager that everybody is linking to the Real Madrid job after this season. And he got absolutely smoked. Xabi Alonso got smoked by Liverpool. 4-0. Luis Diaz scoring a hat trick. Cody Gakpo scoring a goal as well. I mean, the form that both of us are coming into this game on. Liverpool are flying at the moment. And yes, our form has picked up. But I mean, you guys saw the last Champions League game that we played. We lost 3-1 to a shit AC Milan side. It's not even like this is the AC Milan of the old days, right? AC Milan are a big club, but they're mid. And they cooked us. And I'm watching Liverpool put 4 past the defending Bundesliga champions. They put 4 past the manager that we want. A clean sheet as well. And then in their game against Southampton, it did look shaky for them. This is the last game that they played before they're going to be playing us. And they did need Mo Salah to step up for them, right? Mo Salah came through clutch. But they almost dropped points against Southampton. This was a pretty entertaining game. A few dodgy calls as well that some people may call out. But I was hoping that they would drop points, honestly, just so that their morale would dip a little bit before the game against us. Now, looking at Liverpool's injury report as well, right? As I brought up earlier, few big-name players will not be available for them in this game. So, Trent Alexander-Arnold, that's the one that stands out the most to me, because we all know that Trent is being linked with a move to Madrid. His contract expires at the end of this season, and I personally believe he will be a Madrid player next season. And I really did want to see him in this game. I wanted to see him out there because that, to me, would have been his audition. But he's picked up an injury, and His return date is unknown, right? Maybe there is a possibility that he's fit for this game, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen any reports saying that he's expected to be fit for this game, but I hope that he is, right? I hope that we see Trent Alexander-Arnold out there because I want to see him play against Vinicius. I want to see him play against an Mbappe. And Trent this season on form has been one of the best right backs in the world. I think that he's taken a massive step up defensively. So I hope that he's able to return for this game, but I'm just not sure if he will, right? Diogo Jota, another player that usually starts for them, he's not going to be there. Now, Jota is made out of glass. This guy is injured all the damn time, right? Like, this guy sneezes the wrong way, and he has to miss a month. It's crazy. But he is a good player. He's their striker that starts more times than not if he's fit. But the problem is, when is he ever fit? Alisson as well, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He is more than likely not going to be fit for this game. Now, they do have Kelleher, and we'll look at their expected 11 in a second. But we know that Alisson is clear, right? But again, doubtful. And then Chiesa, the only signing that they made in the summer window, he's doubtful as well, but who really cares, right? He doesn't make a difference for Liverpool. He's a squad player, rotational player. But Chiesa, like, we don't really care about that. But yeah, man, 3 big injuries for Liverpool here. And regardless of their players being out, right? Because Alisson and Jota have missed a good amount of time so far, and they're still playing well. Trent got injured, I believe, against Aston Villa a few weeks ago. But yeah, we'll see if he's able to suit up for this game. I hope that he is, though, because as I said, I want to see Trent play against us. This is his audition. This is a Trent Alexander watch. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about their expected 11. So this is how I believe Liverpool will line up, right? So obviously, they usually play in a 4-2-3-1. And we talked about it with the injuries. So Kelleher will be in goal, more than likely. Kelleher, he's actually one of the better backup goalkeepers in the world. He's been playing really well for Liverpool. Like, I don't really think Liverpool has missed Alisson as much as you may think a team would miss one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Then at right back, you got Connor Bradley. This is me saying if Trent's not there, then obviously Bradley will start, which can be an advantage for us. Because how is Bradley going to be able to handle going against Mbappe and Vinicius, who are going to be interchanging on that left wing? Now, Liverpool center back pairing, the best in Europe right now. They have the best defense in Europe. Van Dijk and Konate have been an absolute brick wall in defense. Like, teams cannot get past them. Teams cannot really score that many goals on Liverpool, right? And we know that Van Dijk is world class, one of the best center backs of our generation. And then Konate, I believe he is a good center back. But Van Dijk is who leads that back line. Now, where Liverpool are weak, right, chat? Hear me. Where Liverpool are weak is Andy Rob. This left back spot right here. Andy Robertson is cooked. My guy is finito, okay? His legs look gone. This is the weak side right here. Real Madrid have to attack Andy Robertson, right? You have to put a lot of pressure on him because he just looks washed nowadays. But I believe he will start. Now in midfield, right, I think that we'll see a double pivot of McAllister and Gravenberch. I think McAllister is a decent player, right? I don't rate him too highly, but he's solid. Now, Gravenberch, we got to talk about Gravenberch. This guy has been amazing this season. The way that he's transformed himself into one of the best midfielders in the Premier League is remarkable. When Liverpool did not sign a DM, and everybody was laughing at them and making jokes and saying that they were cooked and all these different things, and I was one of those people that thought they made a mistake by not bringing a DM. Because I did not know that Ryan Gravenberch would transform into the player that he is right now. He's been on some amazing, defensively, solid. On the ball, good. Passer, good. Like, Ryan Gravenberch this season, if you had to make a Premier League team of the season so far, he's in there. You cannot make a team without him not being in there. He's been fantastic. Now, Mo Salah, I expect him to be on that right wing. Obviously, he is the best player in the Premier League. He's been on absolute smoke this season, right? He got that hair transplant in Turkey, came back this season, been on fire, okay? The hair plugs have changed his life. Mo Salah is cooking, and he's the danger man. He's the player that I'm really worried about for Liverpool, because anything that they have going forward, anything positive offensively for them, will be coming from that right side of their attack. Now, in the 10, I had to choose between Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai, but I think Curtis Jones has just been better this season, right? In the games that I've watched Liverpool play, Curtis Jones has put in some pretty big performances. And Dominic Szoboszlai started against Southampton in the 10, and I think he's going to hold bench for this game. I think Curtis Jones will be starting this game. Luis Diaz on the left, right? His form has dropped a little bit. At the start of this season, he was on fire. And then he cooled down a little bit, but then he got that hat trick against Bayer Leverkusen. And I think that he will start this game over Cody Gakpo. And then up front, I think they start Darwin Núñez. We just talked about Diogo Jota being out injured. Darwin Núñez is the only striker I believe they have that could start this game. And Darwin Núñez is such a wild card because I never know what kind of performance he will put in. Like, this is the guy that will miss a 5-yard tap-in, but then score a 40-yard screamer, okay? Darwin Núñez is a very confusing player, but he is a dangerous player nonetheless. So what do you guys think about this expected 11 from Liverpool? Do you agree with it or do you not, right? I don't watch Liverpool every single game, but I've watched them a good amount this season. And I think this is the 11 that they'll put out with injuries factored in. Now, obviously, if Trent or Alisson is back for this game, then they obviously start. But just looking at the injury report, this is how I think Liverpool line up. So get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about that. Now it's time to build my starting 11 for Real Madrid, right? I'm building this based off what I think Carlo Ancelotti will do. And I know a lot of people are going to have their opinions on this. So I definitely need you guys to get in the comment section and let me know what you think about this starting 11. But with all the injuries that we have, I think Carlo Ancelotti has to get a bit creative. And I just think offensively, we're going to have to maybe play some players out of their natural position. But let's get into it, man. So in goal, I'm going Thibaut Courtois. I mean, obviously, right? Courtois is the best goalkeeper in Europe, right? And him being back for this game is a huge boost because he might be a little bit busy, okay? You're going against Liverpool. So I know that against Leganes, he didn't have much to do. Yeah, I expect him to have a little bit of work to do on Wednesday. Now, at right back, I'm going Valverde, right? I know that Lucas Vazquez is fit, but, brother, Fede Valverde is just so clear of Lucas Vazquez, even as a right back, that even if Vazquez was never injured, I still would have been saying we should be starting Fede Valverde at right back. Because if you put Lucas Vazquez there, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, they'll cook him. They will cook him differently. But I don't think that Valverde will get cooked. I think Valverde, we saw him against Leganes. To me, he dropped the man of the match performance at right back. And I think that he does have the skill set to play there and be very good. So Valverde, to me, this guy is one of the most important players that we have. He's one of our most consistent players as well. And he's able to play wherever we need him. If you need him at right back, he's there. If you need him to play in the midfield, he's there. If you need him at right wing, he's there. If you need a free kick goal, he's there. If you need him to score a screamer, he's there. If you need him to press, he's there. I cannot understate the importance of a Fede Valverde. We're just very lucky that he's durable, right? Valverde has played the most minutes in world football for club and country. He's played more than any other player. This guy does not get a rest. And I don't think he's going to be getting a rest anytime soon because of all the injuries that we have. Now, at right center back, right, I'm going to go Raul Asensio. And Raul Asensio is not in the lineup builder database, so I'm not going to be able to add him. But just keep that in mind, right? Raul Asensio at right center back, right? He's played 2 games so far for Real Madrid, and I think that he's put in 2 very good performances. And to be honest, we have no choice but to play him. Because if you don't play Raul Asensio, then you got to play Jesus Vallejo. And Jesus Vallejo is shit. And I've been very impressed with Raul Asensio. So I have no problem with him starting, right? To me, I'm very interested and I'm excited to see how he develops because I rate him, right? I've seen some good things from him, especially on the ball. He is a ball-playing center back, right? Against Osasuna when he got his debut. That assist for Jude Bellingham, the vision and the quality to make that kind of pass, amazing. And then against Leganes yesterday, he had a solid game. And then there was one time where he picked up the ball from the back line and he carried it into the opposition's box. So Raul Asensio looks like a player that's very comfortable on the ball, and he also looks solid defensively. So even though, I'd rather have Militao there, that's not a possibility. And Raul Asensio, I think, has earned the right to be starting at Liverpool for this big matchup. So keep in mind, he's not in the database, but Raul Asensio would be my right center back. Now, lineup builder, you guys got to add my boy Asensio. Come on now. This is the next Sergio Ramos, okay? Get him in the database because we're going to be using him a lot this season, and I don't want to keep having a blank space. Now, left center back, obviously we got to go Rudiger, right? Rudiger is the only fit center back that we have from that core of last year's players, right? And Rudiger is also, in my opinion, one of the best defenders in the world, even though this season his levels have dropped a bit. Now, left back, it gets a bit tricky here because I know some people want to see Fran Garcia, and I know that Fran Garcia also started against Leganes, and I think that he did a very good job, right? His overlapping on that left wing was very useful. But we're playing against Liverpool. And do I trust Fran Garcia against Mo Salah? Absolutely not. Mo Salah would cook him differently. So I'm going with Ferland Mendy at left back. And it's strictly down to what he offers me defensively, right? And I know that Mendy's levels have dropped from last season, but so has everyone else's. But it just seems like Mendy gets a lot of the blame. Like Mendy is the scapegoat for a lot of people when everybody for a majority of this season has been mid. So Mendy is one of the best fullbacks at defending, right? He's very physical. He's good in 1v1 defending, and that's what we need if you're going to have Mo Salah going against our left back, right? So again, I like Fran Garcia. I think he is a decent left back, but for tactical reasons, he cannot be out there for this game. Mo Salah is arguably the best player in the world right now on form. And you want to put Fran Garcia up against him. No. See, I need somebody whose main qualities are defensive, right? Fran Garcia is better on the ball, overlapping, and crossing. We don't need that against Liverpool, right? Maybe we'll see him in the second half, depending on how the game's going. But to start off, Ferland Mendy must be out there. Now, at left mid, right, we're going to go Jude Bellingham, one of the best 8s in the world, right? A lot of people just seem to hate this guy all of a sudden, and I have no reason why they hate Jude Bellingham, right? It seems like they want to judge a box-to-box midfielder strictly on GA. Well, I'm here to tell you right now that whether Jude is scoring a goal or not, he's still putting in a good performance. His overall game is top-notch. And I think he will have a big performance against Liverpool. Now, at DM, got to go Camavinga, right? You guys already saw it earlier. No Tchouaméni for this game. And I think Camavinga has been playing amazing recently. He had a huge game against Leganes. And we all know that Camavinga is an absolute baller. And I expect him to be able to have a good game against Liverpool as well. Now, at right mid, this is a little bit tricky. It is. Because this is usually where Fede Valverde would play. But now that he has to play right back for this game, And I know that Vasquez is back, so some people might say, oh, put Vasquez. No. If Vasquez is coming off of an injury, why would you just throw him right back into the starting 11 when he's already struggling defensively as a player in general? Even when he's fully fit, Vasquez cannot defend properly. So why would I throw him out there against Cody Gakpo or Luis Diaz while he's also dealing with fitness issues? It makes no sense. So yes, Valverde will stay at right back. But now the options in this midfield for this spot is either between Luka Modric, Brahim Diaz, and Dani Ceballos. Now, Dani Ceballos, to me, he better not start, even though I think there is a possibility that he may. But I cannot see Dani Ceballos starting in this game. He played 90 minutes versus Leganes, and I believe he's just not going to get another start back-to-back. But who knows? Now, what I'm thinking right now is Luka Modric, to be honest. I think you got to go for the experience. And I know that Luka Modric is not the same player that he was 5 years ago, even like 2 years ago, right? But he still is one of the better center mids in the world, right? Do not just disrespect Luka Modric like that, right? He's a player that in the midfield, he can control the ball and he can slow it down to, get everybody involved in our attack, right? He adds a bit of technicality to our midfield as well, him and Camavinga. So, yeah, Luka Modric, who did not start against Leganes, I believe that's because Carlo wants to start him against Liverpool. Now, I'm going to move some players around, right? Because we're out there in the 4-3-3, but I don't think structurally it will stay this flat 4-3-3. And we'll do that after I input everybody. Now, on the right wing, I think that you got to go Arda Güler, right? Arda Güler must start again for Real Madrid, right? We saw him have a big game against Leganes, and this guy deserves more minutes, right? You guys already know how highly I rate Arda Güler. To me, Arda Güler is a generational talent. He's on the same level as a Lamine Yamal. The only difference is Lamine Yamal gets to play week in, week out for his club and country. Arda Güler is just getting overlooked. And I hope that performance against Leganes has opened up Carlo Ancelotti's eyes, because we can all see how good Arda is. He gives us balance in our attack as well. So he is the answer to a lot of the problems that we've been having with our creativity issues. Arda Güler must start. You guys see all the reports about him possibly leaving the club. I don't want Arda to leave. And I need Carlo to start playing him more. There's no Rodrigo. There's no Vinicius. So there's no excuse for Arda to not be out there. Give the kid a chance. Let him show you what he can do against a top side. This guy was at the Euros carrying his country. But I'm supposed to believe that he's behind Dani Ceballos in the pecking order at Real Madrid? Are you fucking kidding me? Arda Güler must start. Now, again, hear me out, chat, because I'm going to be moving things around. But in the 9, I'm going Brahim Diaz, right? Now, no, I do not believe that Brahim will just start strictly up top, right? And also, I'm going Mbappe on the left wing. He played on the left wing against Leganes, and now that there's no Vinicius or no Rodrigo, there's no reason for Mbappe to not be on the left, which is his preferred position. Now, here's how I think that it will actually look, right? So we'll drop Camavinga a little bit deeper. I think Jude will be a bit more advanced. I think Modric will be in like the middle of Cama and Jude positionally. And then I think Brahim Diaz will drop a little bit and kind of operate as like a false 9, right? So not an out-and-out 9, but as a false 9. Now, I would love to put Endrick in this 11, but this guy Endrick got Make-A-Wish kid minutes against Leganes. Do you guys honestly believe that Carlo Ancelotti is going to start Endrick against Liverpool? This guy only gave him like 8 minutes against Leganes. There's no way Endrick starts it. Now, I would have liked for Carlo to maybe start Endrick, but just based off how he's managing him, I would be very shocked if Endrick is out there starting against Liverpool. So this is how I think we'll end up looking. And yes, Mbappe will have that free roam on the left. And I believe that Brahim Diaz, he'll be the guy that comes down to link play between the midfield. And then, you'll have Arda here who will probably drift in a little bit. And then, yeah, Mbappe will be on the left, and he'll cut in. And Brahim will kind of be in that false 9/10 role. So it's basically like a diamond. Like, that's kind of what I'm hinting at. And then I think because Brahim will be a little bit deeper to link play, right? That'll also give Jude room to crash the box from the left mid on the ball. But I think this is the starting 11 that Carlo will employ. We'll see if I'm right, but that's just what makes the most sense to me. And again, chat, do not forget that Raul Asensio is who I have as the right center back, but lineup builder just don't got him in the database, so I can't actually add him in there. But let me know what you guys think about my starting 11 that I'm predicting. And again, with all the injuries that we have, I still believe that this is a good enough squad to get something. Now, Mbappe, you must. I need you to have the best game of your life. This is why you were brought into the club. This is why. You must perform against Liverpool. You are now the main man in attack. You have a chance to shut up everybody that's been critical of you. All eyes will be on how Mbappe plays in this game without Vinicius. So this is a big test for him. And you better answer. Arda Güler as well, I think, will have a big game because he's going to cook Andy Robertson. I'm going to just be real with you, okay? He will get cooked. But, yeah, let's move on, though. Let's move forward. Now, last thing that I want to do, and I think this could be a little bit fun, right? Let's have a combined 11 between Real Madrid and Liverpool. Now, we'll only pick players that are available for this match. I think that makes it fair. And we're going to do a 4-2-3-1 because Real Madrid have ran this formation a lot this season, and Liverpool, this is the only formation that they run underneath Arne Slot. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's have some fun. And I need you guys to get in the comment section and let me know what you think about my combined 11. Now, I think in goal, right, you got to go Thibaut Courtois, right? I mean, come on, guys. Big up to Kelleher, right? Kelleher has been having a good season, but he's nowhere near the level that Thibaut Courtois is. And even if Alisson was fit for Liverpool, I don't believe he gets in a combined 11 over Thibaut Courtois. Thibaut Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world. Okay? So this one's pretty simple for me. Now, right back, that's where it gets complicated because Liverpool are more than likely not going to have Trent out there. We don't have Danny Carvajal. So the right back options are between Valverde and Bradley, the kid from Liverpool's academy. Now, Fede Valverde, to me, gets in that right back in this team. Fede Valverde is an absolute unicorn. This guy can play at a high level at multiple different positions. And I think he's the best right back that will be on the pitch, unless Trent makes a return. But I know that he got injured against Villa, and nobody knows what his status is. But just based off the injury news, Valverde gets in that right back. Now, defensively, this is easy. Konate and Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool have been arguably the best team in Europe, not just the Premier League. Out of every single team, they have been the best defensively. Right? Like, this center back pairing has been nuts this season. These guys are going crazy. Van Dijk is one of the best center backs of our generation as well. And Konate, I don't rate him as highly, but when he's next to Van Dijk, this guy looks like a different player versus when he's in the France national team, for example. So I would have loved to put Rudiger in here. But as I brought up earlier, defensively, we've not been that good this season. And Rudiger's levels have dropped. So I think it's only fair to put in Van Dijk and Konate right now. So moving to left back, again, it gets tricky. Andy Robertson is shit. This guy is cooked. He is finito. I think he will get exposed against Real Madrid. So for me, the only options are between Andy Robertson and Ferland Mendy because I rate Fran Garcia, but I like him coming off the bench. I don't prefer Fran Garcia to start in big games like this. And I think Ferland Mendy is better than Andy Robertson defensively. So that, in my opinion, gives him the edge. So I'm going Ferland Mendy. And I know people are going to probably be like, what? You're crazy. Get in the comment section. We'll talk about it. Now, moving into midfield. Ryan Gravenberch gets in. Ryan Gravenberch has been amazing this season. This guy has been one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. He has been on fire underneath Arne Slot in this new system that Liverpool are running, right? I talked about it already, but when Liverpool did not make any signings in the summer, I was one of those people that thought they were crazy. I was like, yo, how are you not going to sign a midfielder? Like, I thought they would be getting cooked in midfield. And Ryan Gravenberch has stepped up immensely. So he has to get in. Now, I will say Camavinga gets in next to him, right? Camavinga, to me, top player, right? I think he's one of the best 6s/8s in the world. On the ball, Camavinga is amazing in terms of his ball progression. But defensively, he's also been a monster as well. So I think a double pivot of Camavinga and Ryan Gravenberch is fair. I don't think you could put in McAllister or who else? Curtis Jones or Dominic Szoboszlai over a Camavinga over here. Now, we'll go to the 10, where I'll say Jude. All right, give me Jude Bellingham. I think that he gets in to a combined 11. Jude has been very good this season, and the GA is now starting to roll in. Since everybody just cares about Jude's GA, because that's how we're going to be judging midfielders now, is strictly on GA. Well, Jude is on some good scoring form. In the international break, he also got a lot of assists. Jude Bellingham is an absolute monster. He can play in the 8. He can play in the 10. His overall game is top. He's a top player. And I brought up earlier, I do not understand where all this Jude hate comes from, right? But I think Jude, he's better than Dominic Szoboszlai. He's better than Curtis Jones. He gets in to this midfield. Now, on the right wing, let's go Mo Salah. Mo Salah, arguably the best player in the world. This guy is on smoke this season. He has been fantastic. Again, that hair transplant got this guy playing like he's 5 years younger than what he actually is. Mo Salah has been on smoke. There's not anybody at Real Madrid that can get in on this right wing over a Mo Salah, because we don't even have a natural right winger to even put in. But yeah, man, Mohamed Salah, he obviously gets into this team, right? The way that he's been playing this season, scoring goals, getting assists, anything that's going to happen for Liverpool in attack will come from Mo Salah. He is the danger man that we have to worry about. Now, on the left wing, right, we got to go Mbappe. Obviously, with no Vinicius, the next best player that's available is Mbappe. Now, I know that Luis Diaz, he started off the season on fire, and then I know that he scored, a hat-trick against Bayer Leverkusen, but is he a better player than Mbappe? No, he is not, especially on the left, right? And Vinicius would have been on this left wing if it wasn't for him getting that injury. But since we're making this combined 11 based on the players that are available, you have to put Mbappe on that left wing. Now, up top, this is going to sound crazy. It's going to sound crazy, but Real Madrid don't have a striker that I could argue for right now. Diogo Jota is injured for Liverpool. So Darwin Núñez gets into this combined starting 11. I talked about Núñez when I was going through Liverpool Expected 11. This guy is a weird player, but he's the best of what's possibly available for this match. So let me know what you guys think about this combined 11. All right, guys, get in the chat. And what did I get right? What did I get wrong in your opinion? Now, big up to everybody that's in here, right? We will be doing a watch along for this game. So make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you turn on those post notifications so you don't miss anytime I go live or I drop a new video. All right? Get in the comment section. Give me your score prediction. I'm going to ultimately say nothing. I would rather just wait to see what lineup gets put out there on Wednesday, and you guys can get my score prediction on the watch along. So hopefully I catch all you guys there. Get in the comment section. Smash that like button. Holla Madrid!